asked me what was the first electric vehicle I ever driven, turn back the clocks to 2021, and it was a first generation Kona EV. Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this review, you join me on a 2024 Kona Electric Limited. I'm going to show you all of its different features, take it on a drive, and give you guys my final verdict and find out why it's highlighted yellow. But you know what? Let's try remote start this time. We're going to lock the doors, hold down the key fob. It's already on because it's electric. Shh, shh. Now, let's go ahead, drum roll, get into this review. Woo! Looking outside of the 2024 Hyundai Kona Electric Limited, this is your key fob right here. We have lock, unlock, as well as a remote start function and a panic button with the smart park functions and remote start function on the side of the key fob. As equipped, this vehicle is $42,905. It is dressed in a Neoteric Yellow exterior or highlighted yellow on a sage green interior. But looking at the exterior design of this new Kona, you can see Hyundai did benchmark the electric version and then adapted it for the internal combustion engine for this new second generation. You can see you do have full LED lighting right there for your daytime running lights. And then over here, you do have LED low, high beams, as well as LED turn signals right there. You do have active grille shutter right there with pixelated design right there, which looks kind of cool. I do like this for sure. Some sensors for the smart park, and over here is your charging port. I'm gonna go ahead and speak a little bit more about specs. So you have a 64.8 kilowatt hour battery, which is rated at 261 miles of electric range. If you use a level 2 charger, you will go from 10 to 100% in 6 hours and 5 minutes. If you use a DC fast charge level 3, you will go from 10 to 80% in just 45 minutes. It uses a front wheel drive setup or a single motor for 201 horsepower and 188 pounds for the torque. You do have a 11 kilowatt onboard charger as well. Curb weight is rated at 3,891 pounds as this one is equipped. You can also see right there the front view camera for the 360 camera, which does come standard on its limited package. Now the Kona EV is available in 3 distinct packages. You have a base SE, which has a 48.6 kilowatt hour battery, which has 133 horsepower and 197 miles of electric range. And you have this version right here, the fully loaded limited, and a SEL sliding just below this with the same powertrain as this version right here. Looking over here at the wheels, you have a 17-inch aero style wheel, which does help with aerodynamics and improves the range on a 215 all-season tire. You have LED turn signals in the mirrors with your 360 camera over here on the side, keyless entry for the front door handles, and you have a moonroof up top with a black roof and blacked out roof racks. Overall dimensions are about the same as the internal combustion Kona. I will put all the specs in the description as well as up top in this video. Coming around to the rear of the EV version, you can see you do have a LED light bar just like in the front, very cohesive design for your LED tail light, running light, I was about to say headlight, and you have your LED turn signals, brake lights, and then a halogen reverse light right down below. And you can see a little bit more of the pixelated design right here in the back for your LED reflectors. Opening the trunk, which is powered for this electric version right here, you are greeted to 25.5 cubic feet of space. If you do fold down the second row seats, which do fold in a 60-40 fashion, that will expand to 63.7 cubic feet. A couple of amenities back here. You can see you do have carpeted floor mats, first aid kit, some charging features right there, wheel locks. You can see the LED illumination over here on this side. There's subwoofer over here for the Bose Sound system on that side. And you do have your power charging cable right under here and no temporary spare tire. You use this button right here, boom, to close the tailgate. Now this is the part where I'll show you guys under the hood, but unfortunately there is nothing under the hood. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a 3/4 front view before we hit the interior. Boom. Now let's hit the interior where all the action happens. We are gonna start in the back seats. This lovely sage green interior. Now, sitting behind myself, mostly further back than my 5'6" frame would suggest, I have about 4 to 5 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes, I have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of headroom. You have automatic window controls over here, some USB-C ports right there. You can see the The lime green accents around the interior, even if you look like right up here at the front cabin, and the stitching right there in the seats with this lovely sage green interior. And you have LED illumination up top, and a moonroof with just letting pretty good light. But let's hit the cockpit where all the action happens, and I have to say I'm definitely excited for that. Looking at the driver's seat over here, you have a 8-way power seat for the driver, power bottom, back, as well as a 4 lumbar support right here. And on the door panels, you can control your window and mirror controls over here. You have cluster illumination, traction, electronic parking brake, and a trunk release with your hood release down below, and a manual tilt telescoping steering column. I do like the sage green. They could have just put a black steering wheel. They had to put something different, which is very cool. Hopping inside of the Kona, you're greeted to a dual 12.3-inch display setup right here. So looking right here at this main cluster, you can put on a turn signal for your camera mirror on either side. And you can use the page button on the steering wheel to toggle through your various different information. So you have the range, tire pressures, trip information, heading, as well as driver assist information right over there on that side. Use the paddles right here to increase and decrease the region functions. On this side of the steering wheel is for your driver assist technology, as well as different menus inside of this cluster right here in front of you. And over here on this side is for your telematic information, voice command functions, and so on. Wiper controls, and you have your light controls on this side. And looking further down below, this is your gear shifter. This is how you put the vehicle into gear. So I go drive, you put the vehicle in drive, neutral, you can put it into reverse, which will pull up a 360 camera right there. And you can also go around a 3D view as well. And if you turn the wheel, turn with the steering wheel and so on. And you basically push on the end of stock for park. Boom. But speaking a little bit more about the infotainment, this is also a 12.3-inch display. Now it does have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So I do want to try a quick audio test with a 8-speaker Bose sound system. So let's try it out. As you can see, the system has a lot of bass and sound quality. Definitely is an impressive setup for sure. But going back to your home page right here, this is your main page. You do have embedded navigation, so let's try a quick navigation test. See how quick the response is with this screen right here? It's crazy. As you see right there, navigation prompts are very quick, responsive, and easy to use. But going back to your home page right here, you have your CarPlay settings, EV settings right here. So it'll show you the maximum amount of range as well as the percentage. Right now we're at 221 miles at 84%. CarPlay, voice memos, weather information. We have a valet mode. But going under the setup mode right here, which is your main customizations inside of the screen, you can change your vehicle settings for the driver assist technology over here. You have your drive mode controls, climate, and you also have lighting controls. This does have a multicolor ambient lighting, which you probably won't be able to see right now because it is very sunny, but you can change between all these various different colors right here. Door controls right there. This does have the smart liftgate. Stand behind the vehicle for 3 seconds. It'll open up automatically. Digital key, you can use your phone for that. And you have your convenience functions right there and so on. But exiting that function right there, going under the EV page yet again, you have your battery condition functions right here, a utility mode, smart region functions, and then when you are charging the vehicle, you can change how loud you want the voice prompt to be when it says vehicle is charging. You can also change a couple more things under here for navigation, sound settings, device connections, profiles, and also like the screen layout right here. You can change the various different gauge cluster themes and so on right here, which I will show you guys in a second when I cycle through the drive modes. And you can also put up a preset favorite button right here. So you see where the star is. You can actually preset that button to any of these functions right here, as well as the steering wheel control buttons for the stars. So right here can be configured, as well as the mode button up top. All that is configurable, which you can set up right here inside of the cluster. Network settings and also general settings right there. But going back to your home page, that's basically mostly the stuff right here. Hyundai Pay, vehicle diagnostics, maintenance information, and HD radio data is for the traffic as well as weather functions and gas pricing as well. You have a built-in owner's manual all the way over to the right-hand side. And that's basically how you can change the various different profile settings. But looking further down below, you have your push button starts. And just like you have some redundant buttons right here for the infotainment, so you have the home, map, search, media, the hazard button in the middle, track forward and back, preset favorite button, and your setup button with a volume and tune knob on that side. Further down below, you do have a dual zone climate control right here with temperature and so on with your window defrost over here on that side. Now looking even further down below, you do have your charging ports down here. So let me show you guys that. So for the first side over on your left hand side, you can actually change how you want the USB-C to be. You can have it to connect to infotainment and charge. And if I hit the button, it'll glow or illuminate white to be just for charging only, as well as the USB in the middle. And you do have a 12-volt charger over here on this side. Wireless phone charging pad right here. Phone's charging up, no problem at all. Looking even further down below in the center console, you do have 3-stage heated and cooled front seats for both driver and front passenger. You have a 2-stage heated steering wheel, auto hold function. You have parking sensors as well as the 360 camera shortcut button right there. And if you hold it again, that will activate the smart park functions to change the settings for the front as well as rear camera, and just plenty of settings right over here. This right here controls the drive mode. So right now we are in its normal mode. I'm sure you guys when I cycle through. So you have a eco mode for maximum of range, normal mode, sport mode, as well as a snow mode right there. Now looking further in the center console, you can push out the cup holders right here for both sides. You have a little bit more storage where the second key is being stored at right now. And you have a center console right there with a little bit of storage. You have like coins or small stuff. You have a little spot right here on the dashboard for storage, like a wallet or something, as well as right here in the center console. And this is also your window sticker right here, which I will put information in the description below. You have a auto dimming rearview mirror with a garage door opener up top. You have LED illumination right there, as well as interior lighting, and you can also open and slide the moonroof right there with a push of a button. And you also have your BlueLink connections as well as telematic information up top. But now, let's go ahead and take the Kona Electric for a drive and see how it does on the road. So let's go. We are behind the wheel of the 2024 Hyundai Kona EV. First, setting off, how is visibility? Visibility is great out the hood, out the side mirrors, and even out the back. Visibility is also aided with the digital camera mirrors on both sides. We do put on the turn signals. So let's go. Right now we are starting out in eco mode for maximum amount of range. This one is rated at 261 miles of electric range in both the SEL and Limited trim. If you do go for the base SE trim, that will be 197 miles with a smaller 48.6 kilowatt hour battery and 133 horsepower. You do have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to control the regen functions. That's on full iPedal max. You can change the various different modes by using the paddles. Now this powertrain right here has about 201 horsepower and 188 pound-foot of torque in this configuration right here. Acceleration gets up to speed, no problem at all. Now, the previous generation had 258 pound-foot of torque, and it would just spin up the front tires like crazy, all the way up until like 30, 35 miles an hour. But this right here, the torque being turned down a little bit more than a bit, just definitely hooks way better. And you can see right there, the regen functions are pretty good as well. Now, speaking of seat comfort is great. You do have 3-stage heated and cooled seats with a 2-stage heated steering wheel. These lovely seats right here, which are very comfortable. Now this being the limited trim does have smart park function, so I will overlay a clip of that in action. Now you're probably wondering what makes this different from a standard Kona. You can't see all of the lime green accents right here. Hell, the interior is sage green, for instance. I mean, you can't get that on a regular gas Kona, which is crazy. I have to say, ride quality is also very good as well. It does have a 17-inch wheel, which does help with aerodynamics and really just ekes out that full amount of range. You got the region functions bringing you right back down. No problem at all. Now it's funny, of course, when I did see the new 24 Kona and I saw they had this Neoteric Yellow exterior, I was like, you know what? We'll make a funny video if I didn't bring a highlighter to, you know, for reference. I'm gonna try a quick 0 to 60. Now Hyundai says a 6.4 second 0 to 60, so let's try that. And there's 60 right there. More than enough acceleration. Definitely more than enough for this, you know, electric version right here. It actually puts it in line with the 1.6 liter turbo, both in the limited and inline, as far as the 0 to 60 sprints do go. Now, when you speak about the technology aspect of this Kona, you do have a dual 12.3-inch display with a 8-speaker Bose sound system, which I have to say it does sound amazing. You have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity right here inside of the infotainment. And those like the digital camera mirrors when you do put on the turn signal, which looks so cool. This does have the full suite of Hyundai Sense technology, which we will try once we hit the highway in 1 second. You just get hit by the instantaneous torque when hitting the accelerator. Now, when you go into the EV functions inside of the infotainment, you can change the battery percentage. You can limit that. You can find nearby charging stations and get all of the information you would want in an EV like so. And that region function, so smooth. Like I said, in other Hyundai, Kia, Genesis electric products, I think level 2, level 3 is probably the perfect amount of range for that. Yeah, ride quality is definitely very good in just around city driving. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back into its normal mode, which has a nice middle ground between eco and sport mode. And since we have a car in front of us, I'm just gonna throw on the adaptive cruise control. It uses the camera up top. You can change the following distance from 4 or all the way down to 1. And you can adjust the speed right here. You see right there, it does a pretty good job of that so far. And right now we do have the lane keeping assist on. And it does also have steering haptic feedback as well, so it will give you feedback when you do veer over the lane. More power, baby. Let's go. Yeah. But I'm sure if you definitely want a little bit more enthusiast fun in a EV from Hyundai, Kia, Genesis brand, they do have the EV6 Kia GT and the upcoming Ioniq 5N, which I have to say I'm definitely excited for that. I've driven the EV6 GT, which I have to say that's already crazy, and the Ioniq 5 is just going to turn it up to 11. Look at that, saving the environment right here. We're just using that region, charging up that battery. probably gonna start rambling a bit, but that work truck right there is just probably trying to kill time on the clock. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna get to my destination an hour late so that I can just waste my whole day. Just sitting right here on the highway, throwing adaptive cruise control. Like I said in basically most of my videos, I highly recommend getting a car with it. This is like the greatest feature ever. I mean, when traffic is just killing your vibe, you're just out here just throwing that on, just chilling. And the pickup is also very well. Now, as you get a little bit closer to the dealership, I want to get to the conclusion of what I think about this Kona Electric overall. I have to say, I definitely do like the technology aspect of this vehicle. The sound system is great. The 12.3-inch dual displays are amazing as well. Has a lot of bass sound quality with the 8-speaker Bose sound system. And I have to say, I'm fairly impressed with this vehicle. You got heated, cool seats, and just all the features that you would want in a vehicle like so. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, and this is basically going to wrap up this video. I highly recommend checking out the Kona EV Limited in person. I mean, this amount of technology, you got the cool ambient lighting, all of the lime green accents, so it really just differentiates itself from a standard version or, you know, internal combustion version of the Kona. And of course, the 4 dots right here on the steering wheel, just like in all of the other Hyundais, is the H logo in Morse code, if you guys didn't know that. And you know what's even crazy too about this EV version is the sage green steering wheel, which is, you know, it's different because in most cars you think it's just a black steering wheel, but this is actually like the interior color. It's just crazy, man. And the 360 camera right here has all your rear steering views right here. You can pull up the 3D view. And you got the smart park function, which I have to say, that's probably one of my favorite features. I remember when they showed that in the Super Bowl commercial. I believe that was back in 2020 with the Sonata. This is such a useful feature for sure. And like I said before, the infotainment works great. You do have cool ambient lighting. You won't be able to see that now, but I will probably overlay a clip of it right under the dashboard section right there. And everything's just simple, easy to use, and intuitive. But that's basically going to wrap up this video. This is Chris signing out. I'm going to drive a little bit more off camera and enjoy, you know, the driving experience with the cool seats on. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.